Okay, let's talk about the dream, right? Making a cool $1 million in just 1 week. For those of you in cybersecurity, maybe you're doing web pen testing, hunting bugs, or you're deep in crypto security. That figure probably sounds incredibly tempting. So today, in this deep dive, we're really going to unpack the source material you shared with us. Our mission, basically, is to separate those, aspirational goals from the actual financial reality, the real timelines, and the risks. Because there are risks in these high stakes
Yeah,
fields.
absolutely. And let's just set the stage right away. Look, the cybersecurity sector is definitely lucrative. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But pulling down multi-million-dollar sums week after week through, legitimate work, well, it's highly improbable. Let's just be real about that from the start.
Okay, so improbable. Let's dig into that. This idea, this aspiration, $1 million 1 week, is it ever possible?
Well, if you look at the data, it tells a very different story.
Mm.
So the average yearly salary for a web penetration tester in the U.S., it's sitting around $156,000.
Yeah.
For web app roles, maybe closer to $120,000.
Yeah.
Even senior roles, you're looking at maybe $141,000 on average.
Okay, and bug bounty hunters.
Right. Bug bounty hunters, the average is much lower, around $43,600 a year.
Okay.
Top folks might post toward $50,000. But the key thing here is annual. These are yearly figures, not weekly. So there's just this massive gap between the dream and the typical time value reality.
But hang on, what about those huge single bug payouts you sometimes hear about? I mean, Wormhole paid out $10 million, didn't they? And Aurora, $6 million
Right.
for stopping a potential $200 million hack. Those are massive numbers.
You absolutely are. And they definitely grab headlines, no question. But you have to understand those are extreme outliers, really extreme. And crucially, think about Santiago Lopez, the first guy to make over $1 million on HackerOne. That was built up over years. It wasn't 1 week.
Ah, right. Years, not days.
Exactly. So that really drives it home. Consistent multi-million-dollar weekly paychecks. It's just fundamentally unrealistic through standard ethical hacking. True financial success in this field, it's really a marathon, like you said earlier, not a sprint.
Okay, marathon, not a sprint. Got it. So if the $1 million week is basically a myth for most people, what are the real ways for you, the listener, to actually maximize your earning potential in cybersecurity, like the legitimate high-value pathways?
Yeah, good question. So focusing on high-value bug bounty hunting is definitely one route. The payouts there are directly tied to how severe the bug is. We're talking critical vulnerabilities, things like remote code execution, RCE, or privilege escalation, the CVSS 9s and 10s. Those command the biggest rewards.
And certain areas pay more.
Oh, absolutely. The sectors offering the highest average critical rewards are things like blockchain projects, think $13,000 average. Financial services, that can be anywhere from $8,000 up to, well, $20,000 or even more sometimes. IT companies, around $6,600. Cloud providers, maybe $5,000 to $15,000 plus. And with crypto specifically, there's this kind of unique math, right? The potential financial loss from a bug can be enormous, so the bounty size often reflects that. That makes it potentially the highest paying legitimate route for a single large sum, but again, still rare.
Okay, so bounties are one path, especially high-severity ones in certain sectors. What about pen testing? That seems more stable.
Definitely. Lucrative penetration testing engagements offer a much more stable, reliable income stream. You can see contracts ranging anywhere from, say, $2,500 up to $50,000 for things like web app tests, mobile tests, network tests. And this is important, these jobs typically take weeks to complete, not days. They're thorough, comprehensive assessments.
Right, weeks, not the get-rich-quick time frame.
Exactly. Now, given all the buzz around crypto, we absolutely have to talk about the risks, the legal side of things.
Yes, this is critical. It is so important to draw a very clear line here. Ethical hacking, bug bounties, pen testing, that's all about finding flaws and responsibly disclosing them to help companies fix things. That's legitimate. Illicit stuff like crypto cracking or any other kind of cybercrime, that's just criminal activity, full stop.
And the consequences are serious.
Dire. We're talking severe criminal charges, wire fraud, money laundering. You can face civil lawsuits, huge regulatory fines, having your assets seized. And this idea that crypto is anonymous, it's largely a myth these days. Law enforcement has tools, blockchain analytics to trace tainted crypto. Plus, regulations like MiCA in Europe, FinCEN rules, they're all increasing traceability. Trying illicit stuff is becoming incredibly high risk for very little reward, potentially.
Okay, so huge legal risks. But beyond that, just dealing with crypto itself has dangers, doesn't it? Volatility, scams. Absolutely. You have to be incredibly careful. Cryptocurrency is inherently risky. The price swings can be wild. Transactions are irreversible. And the fraud. It's rampant. Americans lose billions, literally billions, every year to crypto scams.
So what should people watch out for?
Well, the common scams include things like fake investments promising unbelievable returns, the classic too good to be true, pump and dump schemes, romance scams that end up asking for crypto, phishing attempts to get your wallet details, fake crypto apps. The list goes on.
What are the red flags then?
Big ones are high-pressure sales tactics, anyone rushing you,
Yes.
vague white papers that don't really explain anything, anonymous founders or teams, and definitely any urgent request for your private keys or seed phrase. That's a massive red flag.
So how do you protect yourself?
Key things. Always. Do your own research, DYOR. Don't get swept up in FOMO, the fear of missing out. Cultivate a healthy skepticism. And use strong security basics. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, everywhere you can. Use hardware wallets if possible. And I'll say again, never, ever share your private keys with anyone.
Okay. Never share the keys. Got it.
So yeah, to kind of wrap this part up for you. That dream of $1 million in a single week. Through legitimate cybersecurity work, it's pretty much unattainable. But, and this is the important part, the field does offer really solid, robust opportunities for building significant wealth just over a more realistic time frame.
Right. So the real path to prosperity, it sounds like, is built more on things like targeting those high-value, critical bug bounties, especially in crypto, remembering how rare they are, though, and securing strong, steady penetration testing contracts. And then, maybe for the longer term, thinking about entrepreneurship or building passive income streams.
Exactly. And underlying all that is integrity. And constantly learning, constantly developing your skills. That's paramount.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's maybe a final thought for you to chew on. In a field like cybersecurity that changes so fast, where is true lasting prosperity really found? Is it in chasing that one fleeting big hit, that lottery ticket payout? Or is it found in the slower, steadier process of consistently building trust, deepening your expertise, and maintaining that ethical influence over time? Something to think about.